Well, good evening for Enterprise fans. Good late night if you are in Europe, and good morning if you are far out there in Australia. But we're here. We're back on the community race schedule. It's Monday night. We're here to do this thing. I'm Demarine2. I'm joined tonight by Judge Joe. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to see a lot of runners of various patterns lay the seed. See which objectives they do and which objectives they don't do. Ooh, my favorite starting character.
We've got ready to start. So old friends and new here running tonight. Oscar424, restream lead head of the Pink Puff Brigade. Jay Brunter, who has been in the community for quite some time. You've got Rybon, who was a semifinalist in the latest Adamant Cup event, and Pixel Crime Lives, who I believe is brand new. So this will be exciting.
Yeah, excited to see what they show and just sit back and watch and enjoy.
Yep, it's 5 random objectives. It's tough quests, but you only need to finish 4 tonight. So our runners are only going to need 4 to get their hands on a crystal. Hook is required for 2 Pinktail Rattail. We've got 1 moon objective. We've got the giant, and we've got sealed cave. The giant likely to get passed up this evening, unless like the Luca key refuses to show up. But that's kind of where we stand right now.
I mean, as long as you end up, all you really need, if it's a hook route especially, is just any 2 tails, Luca in the darkness. At that point, sure, you can keep looking for that last one, but sometimes it's better to just finish at that point and gamble on the known rather than the unknown.
Yeah, I mean, all the spots are open. Main summon and moon are all available. Pass is a key item. We've got Cecil and Fusoya on the restricted list tonight. They may show up, but you're going to have to do a key item location for them, which is always really interesting. Also, free key item is back on the table, so Bedward is our best friend again.
Yeah. Another, with Cecil and Fusoya being the restricted ones, that opens up us up to having a starting edge to join Aridia, one of the best characters you can find. Well, it's Sineki and only gets 1 weapon as opposed to the slew of gear you normally find with Edge. Still a solid character, and with the loot, will almost certainly find something for him.
Yeah, Flame also can hammer through the overworld pretty well. Mute Knives and Chops at 10k for Shop Standard are an investment in the future. You can do a lot with a Mute Knife in hand. A lot of bosses take quad damage from it. But we're on our way. We're hitting the road. We've got the ladies. We've got Rydia. We got Rosa. We got the Flame Whip, so we've got a weapon for Rydia at least. Nothing super interesting in the kit. I think I saw Kamikazes, but that was really the extent of it.
Silk Web for Zeromus on the drop in case you find a Tella and want a Meteor or food for maximum usage.
Yeah, getting food at 200 MP from 190 increases his new capability before you have to stop, so it's always handy. But yeah, let's see, we're taking off now. All our runners are a lot of different places that we can go here. Okay, we've got Jabron heading over to, looks like Bedward, Oscar to Bedward, Rybon's going to Bedward. I guess we're visiting Edward.
Well, when you get a free key item, unless you have a party that, like, desperately needs the Eblin gear or some other gear, makes sense. Plus the chance of a Earth Crystal, and really tough to pass this up.
Yeah, there's some tricky, like, Magma Key. Oh, geez, there you go. First one of the day. Will that into existence. Party Rock for everybody, so Earth Crystal. Access to the not-so-public treasury now for everybody. I guess it's time. Y'all know what time it is.
Great Vast Treasury!
Alright, well, we're gonna prorate that treasury.
Artemis arrows.
Crystal ring.
Oh, boomerang for back row.
Oh, Leviathan summon, and Charm Rod, and a life staff, and a power shirt. Little everything. nothing too bad here. I'm a fan.
Yeah. If we end up with a good bow, the Artemis arrows, power shirt, and a bow will get you through early pretty well. Otherwise, power shirt, flame whip might get you through some early checks and then just transfer over to mage girl.
Chat's got Leviathan out of 10. We've got a solid 8 out of 10. I think I agree with that one. I would have loved to see a better edge sword than a short sword. There's a rune ring in the public treasury as well, so some nice stuff for sure. Some stuff. No heavy armor is the big thing. Like nothing we're gonna ship for gold really. We'll see how much money we end up with here.
Depends on how aggressively you sell things.
Yeah, the apples are where the money's at apparently. They're worth a fair bit of money. But yeah, power shirt's great. No big stick, no heavy armor, but you know, tools for your casters. So kind of feeling pretty good about that. Jabrun doing some more shopping here. Rybon's launching the hovercraft. Pixel Crimes Live is in the waterfall right now. In Watery Pass. Any reason for that?
With T Wildish, the treasure looting is more weighted, so locations that are more out of the way, such as Watery Pass, or more risky, such as Evelyn, tend to give you a higher quality of loot. So if I end up wanting just a little more loot after the treasury, Watery Pass is one of the places that I'll just grab the front and back, even if I don't have next caster.
Yeah, big stick for Kane maybe. There was a white spear in the Watery Pass. All our runners have Leviathan. The summon at Hobbs is Asura, so if you want Rydia to do like literally everything this seed, that's great. Strength Ring Fire Armor, looking pretty good here. Rabbit's gonna give us the first look at the character on top of Hobbs though.
It's Sid. Sid can have some good starting weapons, and his levels and HP allows for a pretty aggressive start with him. We may not have gotten anything from the treasury, but Common Kazi can do a lot of damage on its own.
I mean, 788 at least, but Antlion's not really going to do terribly much here. I think this is kind of an interesting way to get the kill, more than anything. Gonna light back the party here. Asuka also going in here. No one's got the mana to do the summonings for this fight, so no Leviathan wiping out the world here.
No, but an important thing to see is going to be how many runners manage to get Rydia, keep Rydia alive throughout this fight, because getting Rydia the XP and accessing the Leviathan could be very important to our early game.
Yeah, looks like Jabrun's gonna cash out some Artemis arrows here. Asuka just decided to cash out completely, hitting the reset button, not too terribly happy. Rybon's going to hit that second Kamikaze to finish the job in a very interesting way, certainly. No counters, no problems. The counters hitting for like 90 is pretty problematic, as it's going to two-shot Rosa, one-shot Rydia.
Yeah. Antlion, although definitely not one of the most annoying spots to find it, can do some problems unless you have a tanky party at the spot.
Yeah, I mean, working him over with arrows, 250 a shot is not really ideal here. But Jabrun's through with Rosa dead. Pixel Crimes Live is on his way up to the top. Asuka's gearing up a little bit here, picked up a crossbow, has that rune ring. A couple of Soma drops on hand, which of course could also be sold for 10k a pop if you're looking for the money.
Rybon teaching Rydia all the summons in the inventory, Ashura Leviathan, using a tent, about ready to transfer into Leviathan Rydia for the rest of this early game, I suspect.
Yeah, Pixel Crimes did cash out a pretty big item, it looked like there. I wasn't sure what it was, but it did about 1,000 damage. So, probably feeling pretty good here. It's going to aim for 508 with the Artemis Arrow Crossbow Power Shirt, like, pretty solid. No experience for Rydia, though. Only Rybon's taken her through that fight.
Yeah. So, Rydia didn't get XP. If you can have Leviathan is a powerful way to get through the early game. It's not the only. way we have to get through this early game, especially with those Artemis arrows. You could be more focused on archery, for example, to get through. So you could keep a lower Iridia as an anchor, but we'll have to see what the seed has for us in terms of characters, and that's the Gauntlet.
Yeah, with this comp, that's not really ideal. No Earth Hammer for quick sweepy sweeps here. The caster item we've got is a Charm Rod, so that's pretty bad. If you're going to use arrows on this, you're going to want to use like mid-tier arrows, not your Artemis arrows. Flame Whip is also getting pretty grand here for dishing out some hurt from Rydia as well.
So, not a fast fight, but, well, there are worse spots to find the Salt Gauntlet.
Yeah, if this were Palom, I would say you reset out, or at least if you have your level 2 magics, you can use level 2 magic on these. A lot of these things are ice vulnerable, so you can speed through this pretty efficiently with like Palom, but Ice 1 doesn't really cut it, even with the plus 10 stat stick and the Charm Rod, so, you know, everyone is going to go ahead and start pulling out melee weapons here. Even the Life Staff is a viable bat a lot of the time. People don't see it as that, but you can use it and swing it.
Yeah, the Life Staff may not have any multipliers physically, but it still has a very reasonable attack stat, something like 50 or 60, which can hit pretty well if you, especially with, say, the power shirt that some runners have on Rosa.
Yeah, and with a high end of accuracy as well, so it does good damage. It's just not like... It's not... Like, the bow is probably going to be better here, honestly. Like, people have got fire arrows. I've seen poison arrows. So, you know, not the worst situation to be in.
Yeah. And, looks like Asuka's the only runner to have decided to try something else other than getting Sid. Antlion was deemed too annoying for the early. Might come back for Sid, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe drops a Leviathan and just grabs Sid real quick. Rybon was through first. It's a pan. Jabron was through second. Pixel Crimes Live is on the last fight, and I think Asuka's about to pull into fight number 4 of the 5 here. Nope, sorry, 5 of 5, so she's about to wrap this party up as well.
So, let's see where the runners go. Despite getting the pan, does not appear tempted to fade for Bool. And same for Jbrun.
I think that they're probably routing the full heal here as well, because you do get a full top up from doing this spot.
Yeah, along with another decent chunk of XP to get that Rydia closer to that 50 and 100 MP marks, which can be very good benchmarks early, and that's a gold Bez.
The man in black is here. Rybon is gonna hit Rosa with the whip, which is not really ideal. Does 40 damage, which is not really super great, but I guess having her paralyzed is just fine. Jbrun though knows the tech. Gonna hit a venom on Sid, so gonna poison him, so that when the Golbez hold gas comes out, it doesn't work. Crystal Ring also just makes you straight up immune, so Rybon has the Crystal Ring on Rydia, so, you know, don't care. It's pretty good.
Yep. I noted, due to not getting Rydia through the Antlion fight on Pixel Crimes Live side, only has 45 MP on the Rydia, so without use of a Soma drop is just that little bit short from getting the ability to cast Leviathan, and another mage in Baron Inn.
There was the Palom, I believe. Yeah, it ends up using the Inn to top off, which is a-okay just fine. Asuka checking the shop. I saw the Odin summon there if you want some instant kill power. A lot of setup going on here. I think Rybon did get a Leviathan off, but it wasn't quite enough, so now has to Has to probably drop a couple of hits. There it is onto Golbez to finish the deed. We'll see how Jabron deals with this. And Pixel Crimes Live is going to give us a look at the second boss of Aaron.
Ooh, that was a solid crit. I saw Golbez get hit for 900. Ooh, Dark Elf. That. Don't recall when Rydia learned stop.
It's early enough, I believe, but more importantly, though, Rybon does get our first required item. There's the Rodent's Tail for the team here at Football. So defend Football, get a tail.
Actually, this is one of the nastier locations, but we do have Artemis arrows, so as long as we can get 2, maybe 1 to 3, I don't know exactly how much damage that Rosa will do. With the Artemis arrows, we'll be able to get through the second form of Dark Elf.
Yeah, the nice thing about this particular spot is it is slow. You can kind of see that we're getting a bunch of actions in between, which is always handy, which is good to see. Jabron, by the way, hot on Rybon's heels right now. Both of them doing pretty good. Of course, Rybon, deep run in the Adamant Cup, semi-finalist. Big game there. So we'll see. He's going to go over to Ordeals. We'll see if Jabron decides to hop on down here for the character check, and I think he's going to peel off to Baron.
Jabron stopping.
Oh, he's just going straight to Zot.
Wow.
He wants the restricted character checks. Thinks he's got enough power to get through this 9,000 hit point per spot, so we'll see if this pays out. I like it. It's risky, but it could pay in spades. Also, the encounter chests could give you the good end of the business. Adamants are off, but all the other good stuff is available as is on Team Wildish.
Yeah. With Fu being a potential character to be found in the Earth Crystal, if Fu shows up, even if he doesn't come with Nuke immediately, if he comes with Quake, if he comes with any tier 3, that's an immense upgrade to your damage potential. Officers and soldiers on Mount Ordeals going to just see a wave and they'll be gone.
So would you say that we're going to wave goodbye?
Maybe.
First of 7 jokes, everybody. I was allowed 7 tonight. We're gonna make them count.
Asuka doing some shopping in what looks like Silvera, finding Cure 3s, Thor Rages, and carrots.
Buys a carrot. Does not buy any Cure 3s. Cure 3s are handy to have even when you have a white mage, I've found. Just because sometimes you need to have your Sid do some emergency chemistry, and healing for over 1,000 is always a good time. Pixel Crime Live does have this fight under control for Dark Elf, so it is just a matter of doing the necessary damage at this point.
Yeah. Does not look like he's using the Artemis arrows. I believe that Rosa would do more than 300 with them, but is able to save the Artemis arrows and get through the fight, being the first person to get the 4th character.
Sheet of paper. Gets a pass. Asuka's here too.
For Asuka, this will be the 3rd character, having still chosen not to return for Sid, which at this point does make some sense. Well, Sid's good early and can help you get through those first couple checks. Unless you end up getting Artemis on him, he tends to fall off compared to most other physical fighters.
Speaking of other uses for Cure 3 potions that Jabron also does not have, we do have Mylan Z at the top of Zot Spot 1. He is undead. The spot thankfully doesn't hit too hard, but he is undead, so Curative Magic does damage him. So if you've got Cure 2, you can give him the business end of the business. Rybon got the Tower Key for his troubles. Pale Dim, one wave. So Leviathan, and Ordeals is washed out to sea. Asuka, of course, I believe has at least one Leviathan summon in hand here. The tricky part of this fight is that Dark Elf's hit points are compartmentalized, so you can't do any over damage to him. Until you get the change, you can't kill Dark Elf.
With the Rybon getting the tower key, allowing for no keyless tower plays today, and Pixel Crimes getting the pass, that leaves our underground access to only be through this Tower of Zot check, albeit it could be a long chain.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the back row glitch is on, so having sit in the back row and in the middle means he's going to do some interestingly inconsistent damage even with a hammer here. So that's good to note. The whip is a back row item, and both of them are fire weapons, so both of them do quad damage to Mylon as well. Which is good because they're not hitting very hard right now.
I mean, 400, only need about 20. After one Leviathan, only need about 15 hits to really get through the spot at that point.
Yeah, more than enough and then some there.
Rybon continuing to push through the circle. Asuka getting third character. We'll see where she goes to go and get him some XP and unlock the Palm.
Yeah, it looks like Jbrun did get through. Mylon Z is going to head on in. We're going to see these two characters, and this is big important here. Because if they're big characters, it could be great. We got a later Paladin.
So I expect after heading up through Ordeals, we're going to see Jbrun either if we have a hook, potentially do the Format Ogres in hopes of getting a Holy Sword, but probably more likely go through and clear those Eblin trap chests.
Oh yeah, you want to get those tier 7s right now. Tier 7s and tier 8s with Cecil and Edge. Big swords available, Avenger, Defense Sword, both Holy Swords, Lightsabers, all of the edge weapons are on deck here, potentially. There's a Moth Moon that we had, too. I guess that's what we got from the Flame Dog chest, because that's pretty nice, too.
Yeah, and back row Edge, Masamune Power Shirt. Edge is gonna hit hard.
Yeah, it is now the standard free enterprise strategy of pile everything onto your carry and let him carry. So we put everything on Edge here. And that is going to make sure that getting through the second spot, unless it's something really devastating like Mega Sisters, is probably going to be just fine.
Mega Sisters is one of the most annoying spot fights. This less annoying, less difficult, more annoying.
This definitely qualifies in the time-consuming scale, but it's not bad per se.
Starting Silver Knight for 500. If the Defender Orb goes, that'll probably disappear. Looks like we're going to be getting rid of the little orbs real fast.
Yeah, the big thing here is that you want to get rid of the healer orb. 500 per heal is just too much to deal with at this point. I mean, I guess Leviathan will just do the job, but if you're doing this the normal way, i.e. you don't have a big cannon summon, you want to take out the defender first and then work over the CPU with the attacker up. We're going to see some big numbers in a second here, by the way.
Looking at that damage, I suspect we might have still left the Flame Whip equipped on Rydia.
Yeah, I mean,
which reduces the wisdom in addition to the loss of the bonus wisdom from the Charm Staff.
Yeah, but Globe 199 going to do a big quad 9s here. Just going to absolutely wreck this party. Pixel Crimes live through the first fight on the mountain and is going to probably head over to finish it up and get his tower key. He's got a little work to do yet, but he's got Leviathan Summon working. And our other two runners are on top of Zot right now, and they'll probably both be exceedingly happy to see what's waiting for them here.
Yep, and Asuka's running with Solo Rydia and the Flame Whip to put Mylon Z through the business. Able to get Rosa back up. Hopefully can stay that way.
Yeah, Rybon's got a couple of Ether 2s and has just decided that the correct solution to this is how many times can I cast Leviathan before I stop casting Leviathan. Also going to try and shoot Palom. Wants Palom dead for anchoring purposes. Jay runs through. Good fight for sure there. Not exceedingly tough fight, obviously, but, you know, getting a little bonus experience from orbs there and good Leviathan summoning. And we shall see what his ultimate reward is for doing Zod other than, obviously, the character power. On the one hand, the hook was required. Like, hard required. The other hand, get the hook route in front of you. Get the hook.
Well, we haven't seen what's behind the rat tail just yet. So we may not have a hook route.
If it's a magma camp leaving. Asuka working through the Mylon Z fight here. Yeah, like you said, going to be working with that Flame Whip. Gear 2 from Rosa, quite a good tool here as well. Got level 2 magics here for Pixel Crimes Live, who decided to keep Palom alive, but looks like going to whiff this one, turning into Mist. It's 3 attacks from D-Mist, and then it turns into Mist, and then it comes back out after a little bit of time, and then you can start beating up on it. So right now you get some setup time, which is always great.
Yeah. And as we see the runners go through various places that other runners have gone, Rybon is looking to have cleared the most so far. So we'll see if he can keep that up, or if he ends up getting rabbit holed through one check or another and runs into a bit of difficulties.
Yeah, all our runners haven't really had a tough time of it yet here. Rybon is going to be through. Pass for J-Brun here. So Rybon loaded up his party here. Asuka hot on his heels in this location, which is neat. So orbs pop up on his screen. D-Mist is going into the dumpster on Pixel Crime screen, so good on him. He's going to get a look at Pale Dim and his tower key in a moment. Asuka hasn't done ordeals yet either, but there's no world in which you don't do ordeals with Cecil, with Holy Swords abounding. So we'll kind of see where our runners go next.
Yeah, the only world in which you do that is a world in which you're playing Falcon Ascent. In which case, it's oftentimes better to just go down the hook route.
Yeah, but we got to think about the long term. We got to think about that Vanilla Crystal Sword altar all the way up on the moon. You know, however many miles away the moon is. I don't remember how far the moon is.
Yeah, it's not one of the numbers that have stuck in my brain. I like numbers. Doesn't mean I know all of them.
But yeah, Rybon also Leviathan with just with extreme disinterest in doing anything else. At this point, orbs no problem, enemies no problem, water, I got water, you got water, we got water in the desert. Wash out, CPU shorts out here.
And I suspect we'll see this rat tail from J-Brun before he drops the hovercraft off, so about to get our first objective done, and we'll see if we truly have a hook route.
If it's Magma Camp leaving.
It might not be Magma Key. Maybe it'll just be Twin Heart.
Oh, then I won't leave, because then we'll have music.
With a Magma Key.
Hook for Rybon, Leviathan out here for Asuka. Pixel Crimes Live is going to get the bad news, though, that he does have to climb Zot for now into a hook route of unknown difficulty at this point.
rat tail turned in, and it's a Baron key.
Okay.
Another
I saw
gated-
key and I saw key and I had a moment.
So we'll see if J. Brun ends up checking the Baron key before heading underground, or if the thoughts of checking hands push these runners underground sooner.
Yeah,
Rybon, I believe, is going to be gearing Cecil, who decided to come with a dancing dagger. How nice of him. Unless that was something Rybon found earlier.
I think that was in a box. So we've got Jaybird climbing the mountain, obviously once Paladin Cecil. Pickle Crimes Live mopping up. Gonna go back here to Fabul and this Golbez, which will take a little bit longer with a fuller party, but he's probably a little more prepared for it. Rybon is looting out, unsurprisingly, is looting out Eblin, like we mentioned. 3 encounter chests, which means extra experience for your hook route, and more possible damage for the late game.
Yep. More possible experience for the late game, and the moment you find a crystal sword, your cess is going to be going from dancing dagger for 300 cute to I've got power shirt and a crystal sword. How about 2,000? Murasame, so Edge has his vanilla best weapons.
No, his vanilla best weapons are two Masamunes. You get dupe glitch. You dupe that. You dupe.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was from the vanilla game and not just something fun that was introduced.
Yeah, you gonna get your duplication on. Rybon doing some re-gearing here, obviously with the Murasame. He didn't find that Masamune, which was in the Flame Dog chest, which only Jabron has.
So no Masamura for Rybon, but if Jabron ends up looting out Eblin, he'll be quite happy.
Yeah, Jabron moving on to Demist here, so we'll see about timing. Jabron also sent Rydia to the bench at this point, so Rydia's day is done for Jabron here, because we've seen 6 characters. Decides to keep the 2 bruisers, the slow bruiser, the Palom, and the Rosa. Leviathan out for Pixel Crimes Live here, so this Golbez is about to have a pretty bad day, all things considered, as he is going to get his armor cleaned up pretty good.
Just questioning things, like why is there a giant wave in a castle?
Also, I did not see what the item was from the first chest of encounters which went down, so no idea what Rybon's getting here. Asuka gonna grab the hook. Jabron gonna find a key to the tower in a moment, and this Staleman skull chest is gonna find more water.
And Pixel Crimes is getting the required rat tail, having done ordeals, so only spot left is the Zot for him. White shirt. We have a very, very healing Rosa available.
Yeah, life, rune ring, white shirt, life staff is plus 33. So yeah, her healing is through the roof. There's a glass mask as well, so that's 30 physical defense, but no magical defense. Last encounter box, not the most exciting trio here. Maybe this means that you're going to grab the 2 in the hook route as well on the way down. We shall certainly see. Asuka, Baron Key getting the turn-in work in. Jabron going to see Pale Dim here, which I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy about with this composition. Edge should do the business here pretty fast. Yeah, 10.99, easy game for him. And Pixel Crimes Live topping up and doing some shopping here in Silvera, finding a Dwarf Axe to anchor and or back row. No back row glitch, but you can kind of keep it on him.
I'm getting a big old stack of fire arrows so that there's not a chance of running out.
Asuka is in the hook route, eschewing Eblin, passing the mountain, just headed on down into Eblin Cave first. So it'll give us a good look at some items here, maybe in the item shop. With S standard, all the tier 5 items that are big and powerful are on the table. Leviathan Summon is there. But Hourglass is more important.
In addition, it's another free gated character check where you could end up finding Fu. However, with it being C maybe, we don't know who's going to be in the seed. Could be everyone. Could just be everyone you've seen. Who knows?
Yeah, so Ribbon Helmet from Ribbon Quest letting us know that the matter which has a Ribbon Helmet. There's a Murasame in the Eplin Pass here, so that sure exists, I guess. So good times for everybody at this point. Rybon is not interested in doing the hook route yet, though. He's going to double back for Baron. Pixel Crime Live knows that Zot is the answer to the question of what do I got to do next. So he's on his way, making good time for a fairly new runner. So good stuff there. And Jay Brun, of course, not passing up here. We know that it's a ribbon, a white shirt, and something that was probably terribly unexciting because I don't remember what it was. So good times.
Well, Cecil's not swinging for thousands, so obviously it's not what we wanted.
A pony?
Ponies are nice. I prefer Dragon Lords, but...
Look, the day that you can ride the Dragon Lord in a combat, please let me know.
I'll try.
Thank you.
Flame Dog is about to go and meet an unfortunate end to Palom.
About to find out that it's very cold in here. Asuka, I don't know how many ninja swords have been found, but she's gonna decide to send Palom to the bench here. So Double Edge, Dark Knight Cecil, Rosa,
Well,
and
at
Rydia.
minimum, we have Boomerang, Dancing Dagger for second edge.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Jaybrun here because I really need to remember what the heck this first item was. I'll feel bad otherwise. It was Double Guards is the fight here in Baron Castle, so it's a relative freebie. These can be instant killed. The big thing is you want to hit them with Mute, if anything else, because they will cast counter spells against you. Piggy if you melee that, or Piggy if you cast spells on them, and Mini if you melee them.
So without Leviathan is ending up a more physical route and getting a couple life glitches for Jaybrun. Gonna be a good slingshot to start Cecil up, getting him to level 19. That's where the ninja hat came
That was
from.
where the hat was. Alright, so it's all armor, no big sticks at all for anybody, so everyone is sad, full of sadness. Rybon's Leviathan fueled rampage continues with it's either Rubicant or Elements, and God, they are about to taste the wave.
Well, there's a not unreasonable chance that we manage to skip a phase if we can hit hard enough.
Yeah, ends up going with Zerking up edge here, and it hits pretty darn hard, honestly. Pretty good. Asuka giving us our first look at the 6,000 health first hook boss, and it is, oh no, ooh.
Well, as long as you have a slow enough anchor, it's not too terrible, but...
Not ideal, though. If you summon against it, it will use Blaze on you, which is pretty problematic. It does another quarter health damage. But as you can see, the big thing here is that Ogopogo is fast and is just like, man, look at me, I'm flexing. Flexing? Big flexing. Flexes on Asuka's party and sends her back to the save point, unfortunately.
Yeah. You don't need much for that fight, but Blink and a slow anchor will get you through with maybe just a little bit of luck, because outside it's either health HP based AoE or it's physical damage. So with Blink to dodge the physical damage and some tier 2s to heal up, then you can just swing until it dies.
Sid out, Edward in for Rybon here. Spoon flying on, so if the spoon drops, you know, you can still wield it for 255 in attack power, and we're gonna get a look at the Baron item now.
Okay.
Willed that into existence.
Don't know how Rybon knew that Edward was going to be important, but apparently Rybon knew.
There's some bosses that hide is super useful for on the hook route, so understandable, certainly. Definitely a play I'd make. The spoon is just, you know, the icing on the cake, even though he's just level 5 at this point. It sounds like Jabrun in the interim is stealing Bacchus wines from these mad ogres and stole a Earth Hammer for Sid from the Staleman chest. So feeling pretty good about that. Pixel Crimes Live reaches the top of the Tower of Zot with a Masamune in hand. And a Paladin Cecil awaiting him, as well as we know is Edge behind. Asuka rolling up, Ogopogo taking the second shot here. And Rybon's giving us a look at the boss in the basement of Baron. Big wave going out, so start of the fight again here. Half health, and I'm gonna try and set up Leviathan casts here. Do we have a big dart? Like, I'm trying to think if we have a big dart or something, which might be handy.
Murasame's not quite what you're looking for. Ooh, Mylon here. Well, normally he's not that scary with Lit 1 and the occasional physical hit. At this spot, he hurts. Those Lit 1s are doing 500 damage.
Yep. Ribbon will help some, but you really want a pro ring here. Diamond gear, though, does exist, and I think we have a couple pieces of it, so Rose is going to be just fine. Asuka finding out pretty quickly about getting blasted with Blaze here, and now is going to get blasted again off that Silk Web. Going to take this party down to 3 and 2 hit points. Not looking good for a hero right now.
Okay. Resetting again. Wasn't sure if we were gonna try and throw just like tier 2, maybe see if Edge could finish it up, try and just heal both people up and get another blink. A couple things you could have done to salvage it, but might just be easier to go back to planning board.
Yeah, the very tough thing about this particular fight is just that when you can't really hit Ogopogo with spells, because if you direct cast a spell on Ogopogo, it counters with Blaze, which takes another quarter of your health. 4 quarters of your health is 1, 2. Hey, what's 4 quarters add up to? I'm sorry, I'm bad at math.
As long as each quarter is even, it adds up to 100% of your health, so you're dead.
Ah, that sounds really bad.
It's not great. But if your health is not even due to rounding, you'll end up with that 2 or 3 health left that we saw.
Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be a Silk Web still going out from Asuka here. Definitely needs to keep Ogopogo's speed on the ropes a little bit here, but Ogopogo is going to have his revenge, and by have his revenge I mean just take an Edge and yeet him into the sun. Rybon does this fight beautifully, by the way. If you haven't been watching Rybon, he executes that Mild Z fight, or Mild regular fight beautifully, and gets a holy sword for his holy man. So I don't think he's gonna have any troubles anymore. Just strap on that Excalibur and go to town, I guess.
Edge, you helped out. You were good. You were a nice carry.
Oh, Jabrun.
You are now.
Jabrun did the Staleman chest down here, by the way, and got a crystal sword. That's where the crystal sword was.
The Staleman?
The Staleman chest in.
But that's like.
No one does it. Everyone skips it. It was in the first chest in the pass here, and just.
Well, it has no XP. It's only like a 13% chance of the X-Tower Crystal Sword.
It melees the ever-loving heck out of you. It hits real hard. They've got like 1,800 health. No one does that chest. No one.
Like, Mad Ogres is sometimes even easier, but more XP.
You'll have hourglasses for that if you really want to do them. It's like 10,000 experience points. But yeah, he gets the big break and he gets the big stick for his troubles. So Baron Basement probably going to get issued pretty hard here. He could probably do the hook route with a Crystal Sword. Asuka has Edge and Rosa alive, which, while that seems scary, is probably optimal at this point. Double wave. Is this double wave? This is double wave. This is a little problematic. I think Edge dies here.
424. No,
Nope,
2 health.
He's on 2. That's not ideal.
No.
Hitting for 1300 though.
14.
He's got to. Come on, go Edge. Do it, Edge. Do it. Do it. Do it.
2 swings.
Do it.
These.
Do it.
These. No.
He didn't do it.
Edge, unfortunately, was not fast enough.
Yeah, just a rough fight to find. I was really concerned that Raibon was going to want to dart out the spoon for this fight, but may just try to take it with Crystal or with Excalibur Cecil. Obviously, Jabron with Crystal Sword Cecil's gonna be pretty happy too.
You've got a good Edge. You've got a Cecil. Yes, Spoonward is good, but he can be a little squishy. It takes a lot of levels to get him out of danger range for Zeromus. Levels that you just might not end up wanting with the power you have elsewhere. So you might just be fine with Cecil Edge or Cecil Edge and end up throwing the spoon.
And if you dart the spoon, you can then very happily kill your Edward and anchor with him, because, you know, he starts at level 5.
Did Edward get XP from the Baron base?
Uncertain. Yeah, everyone's also mentioning that there was a glass helmet in Eblin as well, which gives you enough defense that you could do, like, Cecil cover strats and swing away with your Holy Sword without... that. Yeah, no, Raibon's got him dead right now, so did not get experience points. We'll see how he's feeling about that later. Asuka's taking another shot, does some setup here, he's got a blink on Edge, trying to get some healing out here, gotta get this party top back up in a hurry.
Yeah, healing's important, but we also need to get the Berserk going. Bowie through the Silk Web to slow down the Ogopogo until you have 1 or 2 Zerkers active. It more difficult to...
Yeah, the big thing with Zerk is not just the increased response time, but it also increases your attack power by 50%, which is pretty impressive here. So we've got Rosa dead and Edward dead, but everyone else at full health at the start of this fight for Raibon, which I'm sure he's fine with, honestly. And it's just going to slap that Berserk onto Cecil. Edge swings for a lot, but he dies to 1 attack. But starts off with an 800 swing, so he's going to be feeling pretty good. Asuka's got the setup done. Hey, that Holy Sword hit for 2,282 damage. Think he's feeling alright about this?
Yep. Just need 2 hits and a little bit of help. Only 6,000 health at this spot.
Yeah, just absolutely, just runs through that. Big gear on Jabron here. His edges are feeling really good in terms of equipment right now. Second boss, this looks like Dark Imps, which will just die to an hourglass and whatever. How we're gonna kill them?
I see some coffins, so maybe you go and coffin life glitch or double life glitch that way, or you can just Zerk Cecil and sit there.
Asuka's through the fight. Alright, Asuka, well done. Did get the setup that time, really had to take a little bit of extra setup time, but big finish there. Gonna go back and save, doesn't want to lose progress, even though it's a free hourglass away. But yeah, that was a good fight. Well done holding together there. Did a lot of setup, which was nice.
It's only free if you get the hourglass off, and well, Edge is tanky, or Edge has health. It is possible without great agility anchoring situations that the Dimps just focus fire whoever's throwing the hourglass and just never let you get it off.
I mean, back row glass mask. This spot doesn't hit very hard, honestly. In the back row, if you have any sort of armor. Front row, obviously, it hits hard, but you can see this isn't a problem. Asuka going for the fast strat here. Who needs an hourglass when you can summon a sword? Please die. Okay, it didn't work.
Oh,
Pretty low accuracy on Odin, honestly, but hey, it's always worth the try. Rybon's through here, 47 minutes Pitfallen, so first one to the underground realms, excuse me. Jbrun probably not far behind. Asuka also probably not far behind. Pixelgrime Live doing some double and back here, so we'll see what his intended next step is.
Yeah. Interesting thing is, so Jbrun still has the Baron key, however, has chosen to go down the hook route. We'll have to see if Jbrun decides to ever return to Baron, which had Edward, Spoon, and X-Cow, none of which are necessarily needed for this party. We've got a Crystal Sword Cecil.
Well, Jbrun has a Crystal Sword Cecil, nobody else does.
True, and has apparently decided to get rid of Rosa. So, rocking that non-white mage life.
Interesting. I like the safety of Rosa. I'm obviously a big white mage fan. Asuka, third try with Odin is not the charm as he shows up and decides maybe not today. I'm not feeling it. Doesn't get that good vibe going. Jbrun cuts his way through this fight though. Crystal Sword Cecil makes a lot of fights look a lot easier.
Yep. And there's Asuka going to the hourglass and Toad, so we're going to be just physically swinging at them till they fall over.
And just decides to reset here. Thankfully went back and saved, so nothing truly lost other than a little bit of time. No big deal there. You've got Rybon, who is heading to the top of the tower, sees Valvolus up there, and is like, I don't care, you don't care, we're doing this fight.
We have the tower key, we have someone who can hit really hard. Only 19,000 at this spot, and we have Berserk. No problems.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a Holy Sword, you go for it. But you've got a lot of heavy hitters with this party. Edge and Cecil are both real viable hitters right now, and your Edward is a great anchor. Jbrun hit the pitfall around 48-30, and is going to also immediately do tower. Doesn't really care what boss is up there. Pixel Crime's heading down. Slow, steady. We'll see how, as a newer runner, how he handles the Ogopogo party here.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping the close to Heroine Robe. That pretty nice. We're just an Artemis bow away from having very, very angry Rosa.
Yeah, possibly the angriest. Austin's like, do I want to cast Odin again? I love Odin.
Ooh. And Asuka's center slotting Rydia, but chose to just Leviathan.
Probably safer, honestly.
Yeah, safer play. I believe center slot Odin has a higher chance of actually hitting, but I don't know the exact numbers behind Odin.
So Odin's accuracy calculation's a little weird because it calculates normally and then it's halved. So the maximum chance you have of hitting Odin no matter where you are is 50%.
That's a good way of explaining it.
Rybon's taking advantage of the fact that Valvolus up here doesn't evade anything when it comes to magic, so it's just blasting away with Rydia here.
Oh, you're in a tornado? Cute.
Yeah, cute. Here's a dragon. Would you like to meet the king of the ocean? Asuka is gonna tie this fight down though, or lock this fight down, and is gonna get through. Probably means about a 52-minute pitfall. That was an adamant rock from Volvolus, which is not really what you want to see, but hey, it's a key item. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. 8 now for our runners.
Yeah. And with Edge anchoring at, I don't recall which battle speed, fast anchor without a fast enough party at battle speed 1, Ogopogo is pretty tough, but switches over to the Sid anchor, lowers the battle speed. This attempt should go at least a little better for Pixel Crimes.
Yeah, Jabrun, of course, has got Crystal Sword Cecil working alongside Palom, who's in the front row, but casts pretty hard. Just in the front row, he is dying. He is, you know, Cecil cover strats, though, will save the day here for sure.
Well, Cecil's berserked, so I don't know about covering here.
He is not berserked for
Oh.
Jabrun. He does not have
I
a
thought
white
I
mage.
saw him a couple swings in a row.
Yeah, he queued him
Must
up.
have missed him.
He has no Bacchus wines, and he has no white mage.
Ah, ran out of the Bacchus that was stolen.
Yeah. Or at least he's not using it on Cecil, so Cecil can cover, and he's going to use Quake to finish the fight. Got Asuka's going to do the pan first. She's not interested in the tower. No shock there with her 51-minute pitfall time, so just going to go ahead and do some freebies instead, which, you know, always appreciate a good free check. And Pixel Crimes Live is having a little bit of a time of it here. These melee attacks are hitting hard. Did get some healing off, but not quite enough. We'll see if this virus is going to hurt pretty hard, but it's going to cost it's going to be pretty problematic. It's going to fire off a kamikaze here to see if this is lethal from Sid. 700.
Ooh.
If this is lethal, this is a 1 hit point kill.
Come on. Oh.
And it is, as they say, not quite enough. Jabrun, of course, is now through with the through getting his adamant rock. Did not see the item from Sylphs for Asuka. Was not paying attention.
Magma, we can go underground now.
Sork rope from Sylphs. Magma key is our tower key item, so tower is a double blank for ARC purposes, but hey, double key items. Getting close to 10.
Yeah, having gotten the spoon from Baron, that puts Rybon at 9. I would be pretty surprised to see Rybon not end up at 10 key items by the end of the pan checks.
Yep, so he's checking pan now. It was a Sandrock was our freebie here in the Feymarch. So Darkness Crystal still at large right now. Nowhere to be found. Pixel Crimes is setting up again here. The big thing is that he doesn't have like the heavy hitter like everyone else has had so far in terms of making it through this fight. I think you gotta get Edge zerked up here to make it through this fight at this point. Like, healing's good and all, but you're just gonna get outpaced by Ogopogo's fins? Fins. They're fins.
Yeah, another thing you can do at least at this spot is Helm can hit hard with the virus, but that blaze is very problematic. So one thing you can do is use a Star Veil, and you can reflect the viruses. No counterattack, gets the damage out. As long as the Star Veil wielder stays alive, you'll be good.
Yeah, and a strategy where you don't take those nasty counterattacks is a very big deal here. Rybon's over here finishing up with Bridia's mom. It's a box, gets the package, turns in the pan, gets the pink tail. So there we are. There's objective number 1, trading away the pink tail, which is behind the pan.
And Darkness Crystal will be go mode.
Yeah, it's real interesting without... Well, if you run into the Luca key first, obviously you do Sealed Cave, but otherwise, yeah, Darkness Crystal is, if you want to do Giant of Babel, is go mode.
Yeah, I suppose Luca Key is quicker than Giant, so you would still do that, but the interesting thing is we have the Warp glitch turned on, and Rybon still has Rydia, so very much has a source of warp.
Yeah, I think all our runners do have a Black Mage available, so everyone can warp up. Pixel Crimes is going to go ahead into Baron here, which we knew is Edward Spoon, and if you can do the basement in Excal. It's a Moon Veil is our tier 7 item from the hook here, so not really what you're looking for at this point, unless there's like something that you need physical immunity for, I guess.
I mean, depends on how early you end up fighting the CPU spot. You could go at it pretty early, and the ability to just have one person, if it's just a physical fighter, say, you can't touch me, can be big.
Yeah, people are noting that, of course, getting the spoon here you can just lob the spoon at Ogopogo for an out. Like, it will just kill Ogopogo straight up, because it's guaranteed to do. It starts at level 25 and it does 255 damage, so it's 2550 doubled is 5100 plus 5100 plus half of that, which is another 1000. So as you can see, it's already 6000 damage. Plus a random number from 0 to 255.
Numbers. How I like them. And we see Rybon heading down Dwarf for the double key item check. See, with a Sparkle, could be either, at this point, D-Lunar's Plague or I believe Wyvern are the only ones left.
It could be Wyvern.
Rybon's still anchored, so we'll at least get one veil off. I don't remember who the second boss is, but we'll probably get through just fine.
Rybon bought 20 Bacchus wines, so I think he knows what's up. It's Bacchus wine.
And time to see which bosses are down. If we have Cure 3s, that is free.
It's also, on the other side, it is Rubicante. Rubicant is our favorite fire elemental boss here, for sure. Plague goes down for Rybon, 40,000 experiences, these are 10 key items. By the way, this spot pulls no punches, doing 700 damage a shot, but there is a Cure 3 potion, just needs to hit Sid with it, and this should be pretty over with, honestly. I mean, you know, I guess free is a word that you can use here. I guess you're right.
I wasn't even necessarily thinking about Sid. As long as you're anchored, one thing you can do against DKC is if you have two people who are fast RA1 and can survive at least one hit, then you can stagger a Cure 3. So, for example, if Cecil and Edge were fast enough, you could just have Cecil heal Edge, Edge heals himself, tanks the third hit, and you're through. Having enough health from Sid helps out, though.
Yeah, another white dress for that pre-check, so not a lot, really. So it looks like he is going to reset out because he's not getting experience either. Pixel Crimes Live is about to get his hands on the spoon. For Rybon, it was out Edward in Palom, because Palom is a slightly better anchor. And then immediately tries to kill Palom. Palom gets killed by the boss. Cecil kills Edge, and so he's got to do a little bit of scrambling, but nothing that's actually really bad.
Having seen all the checks, I believe we're down to progression being through either Rubicant or and you can get if this isn't Darkness Crystal or Luca or Harp.
It's a ninja shirt. We're warping.
It's going to be through this Rubicant. However,
I mean, we're warping because back here it is. Can't be the Luca key. It's a pro ring. It's nothing. Big hot nothing. Yeah, Ruby's got everything going on now, doesn't he?
Yeah. So Rubicant is gonna have either the Twin Harp or the Darkness, but is not going to have the Luca key.
Interesting. If this is like Harp, that's always a good sign, but we know that Luca Key is now terminal. At least Rybon does. Everybody else doesn't yet, but Asuka's probably going to find that out very shortly, as she is going to go in here and fight that Plague first. These drains are not hitting very hard on this party right now, so Pixel Primes has plenty of setup time to start picking off these zombies. Ruby, of course, only glares for like 1500 in the spot. magic output not super great here, so
Yeah. As long as you aren't directly targeting Rubicant, he only can kill 2 people in one action at most. So with enough life potions, you can get through the spot just fine.
yeah. The big thing about it is that his melees are really big here, because the Leviathan spot, Leviathan casts ice magic, so the few spots that actually have regular damage spells also have like normal magic damage output. Like the Mega Sister spots won't kill you with magic. This spot won't kill you with magic per se, although Glare is just such a gigantic multiplier behind it that, you know, not doing a lot of damage is sometimes it hits for 3,600.
So it's, I believe it's more likely that we're going to see the darkness from crystal from this Rubicant, but there is always chance that the only items on the moon are the Luke Key and Legend Sword.
Yeah, I mean, Jabrun is setting up to do probable cover strats here, but yeah, this Ruby's tough, and is killing Cecil pretty easily. Rybon's through Dark Knight Cecil, which we know doesn't have anything really worth having. Pixel Crimes Live learned something today, unfortunately learned that Mylan regular is not undead. Tried throwing a Cure 3 potion at Mylan and healed him for 1,300. Asuka is on Octomom here, who's gonna go and drop dead pretty quickly, all things considered, in the second spot. Lit 1 hitting for 352, but you also have Blitz if you want to Blitz with your Edwards, or with your Edges, and just swinging for 1250, so easy enough.
Cover strats set up, and Cecil's gone again. Oh, not quite the right timing, so healing Ruby a little bit. Let's see what sort of strategy Rybon takes against Rubicant.
It's power overwhelming. Good old power overwhelming.
Good old Ice Claw.
Yep, Zerkin up. Ruby's Fire 2's hitting for about 100, so it's not bad at all, so is just letting it rock. Pixel Crimes Live does have, I believe, Quake access and is not using it here, which is a little unfortunate. Asuka is through, got her big pile of 0, and hasn't done Tower yet, hasn't done Ordeals yet, so doesn't quite know where her access to everything lies. Is going to patch up and make a decision here. Pixel Crimes Live having a bit of a tough time with this fight. Again, this is a fight that's a little techy if you don't really have the tech down pat for it, or you don't just start spamming out Quake. You get yourself in a little bit of trouble.
If you are worried about the drains, one thing you can do is knock it down to just 3 of those zombies, and then your Mylan will still be in the I've got people alive, it's fine mode, but there's only one. And nope, drains don't do much despite lit ones doing plenty. And
yep, that had probably had to be the Black Rock basically there. So Rybon go mode 105 and change. No surprise that is the Darkness Crystal, given what we know. Asuka's in the tower, which we know is key items, but not key items that you want in the Adamant and the Magma Key. Pixel Crimes Live is going to get Excalibur for this fight, which is always going to be another handy dart for getting underground. Isn't quite through the hook route yet, but, you know, doing just fine here. And we've got everyone in critical health again for Jabrun. Not believing in just the power of Crystal Sword Cecil and Cure 3 from Rosa, because he doesn't have Rosa, unfortunately.
Yeah. So with that Darkness Crystal, Rybon has kind of 2 forms of action he can do. He can go right to that Crystal Sword Altar, do that giant on the way back, or can do the giant walk end before the Crystal Sword Altar. With the pass, I'd lean more towards doing the Crystal Sword Altar first, because there is always the chance to Luke Key there. If we didn't have the pass, I would probably do Giant into Crystal Sword. Save a long walk.
Yeah, makes good sense. I'm into it. Asuka here is going to fight this Volvalis now, so... Again, with more levels, this should go pretty quickly, because then your actual physical hitters can actually physically hit. And Jabron healing up, patching up. Going for Ice 2 strats here. Quake and Virus just hit through the cloak, because they're non-elemental, so you can always do that as well.
I think Raibon's levels have been doing decent enough, so with the potential 600,000 from the last 2 objectives, as long as you feel confident enough, probably won't be seeing any sort of grind. We'll just let the objectives be the grind in and of themselves.
Yeah, that is a nice thing about the Giant. If you don't get experience up or down fights, it is a total of 500,000 experience points here, so... The Giant is exceedingly full of experience points. But yeah, Jabron's actually set up for this fight, but does double melee is just Sid and Palom just get absolutely removed from battle.
Still has 14 life potions, so we're still doing pretty fine.
Yep, one last Virus and Pickle Crimes is going to get his X-Cal here for his troubles. A very nice fight, if a little on the slower side, but, you know, again, steadies the party and does a really good job of getting through that fight, which for a new runner, you know, going down and doing this before Hook Route, even with some extra levels, it's still an accomplishment, so nicely done.
I have had a strong party, gone and fought Mylon here and gone. Maybe my party's not as strong as I thought. I've definitely ended up with like 19 health left at the end of that fight. So definitely good job getting through that fight.
Yep, Jabron finishes up icing down Rubicon Tier and gets his Darkness Crystal. Raibon looks like he is, like you said, he is en route to visit the Vanilla Home of Wyvern. And Fries.
Yeah. I don't know at which point Luca plus any amount of Moon Altars is faster than Giant, so I don't think we'll be seeing any Moon Altars other than the Crystal Sword today.
Like, if this is Luca Key, or maybe you do Ribbon Altar, if anything, because it's a double chance and it's 200,000 experience points if you have double experience. Chat asking if Alt Gauntlet has been located. Yeah, Alt Gauntlet was at Antlion. It's been and done for the entirety of the night.
So at Crystal Sword Altar at this point, you've got a Glass Hat, you've got a Moon Veil. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything scary there.
Yeah, probably not. Asuka gets the Adamant here, clearing up Volvalis. Jabron finds that the dwarves have been concocting wine in their cellars and grabs 20 of them as well. So he's got a big ol' stack of Bacchus wines to work with. Raibon giving us a look at objective number 5, Conquer the Vanilla Sword Altar. It is Conquer Asura, so we get a different summon monster up here. Runax, great option here. Gonna do quad damage, so that's always nice.
Not quite drinking the wine. Wants to get at least a couple blinks off first.
Yeah, the other thing was it was Palom out, Tella in, because Tella is a martially better anchor than Palom.
Same agility as Palom, but can do a lot more things at that level.
Yeah, has the full raft of utility spells as well. Jabron here is fighting Plague now, so he didn't want to leave any stone unturned, even though he does have the Darkness Crystal, and the problem is that he doesn't have the Pigtail yet. He is not in go mode.
Looks like we were just making sure to get the wall up on Ashura.
Yeah, now Cecil is going to cleave through Asura for 7 grand a swing until she basically explodes. um, while Jabrun is still looking for the pink tail, which we know is a freebie. So we know it's from the pan, which he has not yet checked. Asuka has, Rybon has, Pixel Crimes, of course, has not because he is not underground yet. Yeah, Esther reflecting Cure Force onto Cecil because she really wants Cecil to win this fight because she's really cheering for you.
I think we haven't seen a turtle yet, have we?
Nope. Legend Sword here if you want to forge, but that's certainly not an objective. So now you just decide, is it you want to do any of the Elder Altars, or are you going to smash exit and then head on up? And he is going to hit exit and head on up. The Giant looks like Asuka hitting up the in down here. I think that, I believe she's done all the checks. I think she understands that other than ordeals that her fate lies down here if it's not on the top of the mountain.
Yeah. And at this point has chosen DKC is good enough.
Not something I would do unless I was, unless you really understand the ramifications of what you're doing, which is estate, passing up the Holy Sword carrier. Asuka known to do some fun things rather than some maybe true optimal things. That is also kind of cool.
It's always fun to see the different ways you can go through different seeds. In the last club season, there was a Hero's Journey race where DKC was mandatory until the seed determined it was not. You had to go and it was a DKC hero, and that was not allowed to become Paladin.
Chad asking what DKC means. It is Dark Knight Cecil, so Cecil before he becomes a Paladin, his class is Dark Knight, so shortened it is just DKC because it's easier to say. Jabrun warping in and getting his pro ring here. So he has not yet done Baron, so we'll see if he decides to do Baron or not, or just if he remembers the pan, because the pan is his way to the to go mode here. There's the spoon dart, 6,662 damage, more than enough. So decides to hug a sea serpent, gives it the old spoon, and that is that for that.
Yep. We have the apples going to Rosa. Gotta make sure your white mage's HP is as high as possible.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Give him a Tella? What are you give him?
No. Tella's your anchor. He's not your white mage. He's your anchor and utility.
We were talking about getting reduced experience from spots here. Here's Mob Bomb. So yeah, gonna set up double Bacchus here. Yeah, I really feel for Jabrun if he forgets that he's got the pan in his hands, because that's going to be not great for his time usage here.
No.
But yeah, Pixel Crimes is going to make it through the underground in a pretty straightforward manner here at this point in time. It's got the lockdown on these imps, and it's hidden hard enough here. A lot of box blinds bought by all four of our runners at this point, so.
Asuka's looking through the inventory, seeing what gear is available for Rydia. Not sure if we're looking for mage gear or agility gear, but is heading back in to fight.
Yeah, Jabrun's here in Baron right now. So he is going to go ahead and clean up these two guards and then clean up the second boss and get access to the spoon. Asuka is here on Dark Knight Cecil. Doesn't have a ton of levels, but does have a Cure 3 potion, is popping in and out of the menu for timing purposes here. Is gonna need to hit a second heal on this edge though. 1200 is not quite where you want to be. 7 and 7 is 14, and that edge will die.
Will this edge be able to get another action?
The answer is no. The Dark Knight Cecil's very fast at that spot. Rybon's through Mom Bomb, by the way, with the power of anger and just anger.
So, with the current party setup, it looks like the staggered method of your first person healing a second and the second healing themselves would be the easiest way to get through. Because was able to go and get a second item off with the second edge, I believe.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, is that one edge takes their turn first, then you heal the other edge, and then you set up for the other edge. Thunderclaw being equipped here for Rybon on edge, so you're going to see that the Bacchus Wines are going to do some good work here. The gentlemen are berserked. Edge is hitting for 8k, quad damage, big game.
I was expecting to see quad 9s, honestly.
Edge's base battle power is pretty abysmal, honestly, so, you can't really expect to see quad 9s on these, but, I mean, 4 swings and you're done. 300,000 experience points and everybody not named Rydia, not that it matters, because this is going to be the Edge and Cecil show on Zeromus, as they are going to probably turn on the Bacchus wine drinking and go to town in a minute.
Yeah, with the pass, we're probably just going to fly the whale, find a third edge.
Yeah, Asuka having a bit of a time of it, needs a little bit more health to pull off this Rubicon cleanly with the way that she's doing it. Jabrun's going to get the spoon. Pixel Crimes is checking the pan now, as he has just gotten underground, so we'll see if he decides to do some freebies.
Yep. And we'll see if Jabrun remembers the pan or goes and fights the Mylon fight.
Might fight the Mylon fight anyway, but yeah, 118.25 crystal for Rybon.
Looks like Jabrun was interested in the spoon work. So we'll be interested to see how many levels or that Edward ends up getting, but I believe that we have a question that we're gonna have to ask shortly.
We got time, right? Like, he's gonna do some setup, change some equipment, stretch out, grab a drink, right? He's gonna relax. Oh no, wait, he's going in. Shoot, he's going in.
What's the question? I'm panicking.
What's your favorite sandwich? No, shoot.
Who's your favorite character? No.
It's Rosa. It's right. I got it. I remember.
Oh.
Is Butt cute?
Oh yeah. But I mean, before we ask if Butt's cute, we definitely need to ask, whose butt are we going to kick?
Yeah, good point.
Because I don't think Vanilla Zeromus' butt is cute.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Zeroma sprites out here, so a lot of good choices. So we shall see. Pixel Crimes Live, of course, is going to go ahead and pick up his Pinktail. Jabrun is going to work his way through this fight, killing Edward, because he's interested in Edward as an anchor, not as a character. Asuka's in the tower here, so going to go back up. Oh, she's checking first. She's probably going to go steal Sirens for leveling here with Edge. And Rybon, at about an hour and 20 minutes and change into this, is going to be throwing a crystal with Tella, and we're going to find out that, but...
Currently we do not have any finishers in this race. These 4 are not the only ones running the race. We have about 14 people, so, and of note, none of them have finished yet, so it's possible Rybon's going to be our first finisher.
Yeah, this is Zio from Phantasy Star. Yeah, God, silly memers out there in the chat here. Phantasy Star 4 memes are abounding right now as everyone's just going, oh no. Zio's a powerhouse from that game. Big dark magic caster, blows up your party left and right. It's going to fire the counter nuke into Rosa. Not ideal, but hey, Cure 4 is a good spell last I checked. Even from Tella, it always heals you to 100% of your health. is going to do some reflect damage here with Rydia, but the first turn was Bacchus Wine with Cecil. The second turn was Bacchus Wine with Edge. So not interested in, fair fighting or any of that. Just going to go ahead and go to town with the big magic of violence.
Look at these HP totals. It's very, and especially at the gear on Rosa, it's very unlikely that we ever end up with Rosa dead. So all you really need to do is just cast a Cure 4 every so often, maybe a little bit of damage with the whites and ice 3s, and just let Cecil and Edge go to town.
I mean, White's going to do quad 9s with all this gear that we have. White Dress, Life Staff, Rune Ring. It's pretty good. Rydia, however, does not survive, so I guess the magical spells are done for the day, and Rose is going to be on support duty here. Hitting her around, looks like around an average of like 6,500 to 7,000 a cycle, so must be feeling pretty good right now.
Pretty good damage, got a little bit of extra earlier. The only potentially scary thing would be if we end up with a full power Big Bang into a Meteo, and even that, I think Rosa has a good chance of surviving.
Yeah, I mean, even Cecil at 3,000 health has a very good chance of surviving it because he's got some decent armor and might evade the Meteo anyway. Rose almost certainly will survive because I doubt that she's got getting hit by Meteo in her spellbook at this point. But yeah, this is looking pretty academic right now, just going straight to town. Big Bang does come out though, so this might be the Big Bang in the Meteo scenario that you were talking about. But Rose is already in the process of channeling Cure 4, so it's going to be pretty irrelevant at that point.
And we have Asuka going out for hunting a little bit of dinner. I hear these eggs are pretty healthy, give you a lot of power.
Yeah, a lot of protein. Good for breakfast, I like mine scrambled. But yeah, just decides to stop them and then takes them down. 34,000 experience. I believe she's at 9 key items right now. 1, 4, 5, 9 total, so just short of the line. Berserk fell off for Rybon, so Black Hole means that we weren't quite into phase 3, but here's Meteo. Here's the final phase, so Rock's down. Cecil got berserked by Rosa, so and Edge dodges. There's a big swing. And we got some shaken. We got some bacon. We've got some Dead Dark Lord here. Rybon's over the line. Hour 23:59. First place finisher on the evening. So good game, Rybon. While we wait, of course, Pixel Grimes is through to Dark Knight Cecil using the power of Sid's 1,485 hit point pool to squeak by with 91 health left. So does survive, not by much, but it's more than enough.
We'll see if Pixel Crime ends up fighting the Rubicant and getting into go mode, or if we end up leaving for easier fights.
Sounds like we are joined this evening by our winner, Rybon. Hey, Rybon, congratulations.
GG's on your win.
In the interim, while that Zeroma's fight was happening, by the way, Jabrun did find the pan in his inventory and turned it in. Got his pink tail, and he's up here doing the Crystal Sword altar. Pixel Crimes and Asuka are both on this Rubicant fight now. Asuka did some eggs, so stole some sirens to get some eggs, and has got some extra juice here. Because she also hasn't done Dark Knight Cecil, because she didn't have the Sid in her party who had a pile of health, but didn't have Cecil Paladin on us, so didn't have a pile of health on Cecil here.
And about to see Jabrun in the last 3 fights. Ashura shouldn't be an issue, even if we don't have a Rune Axe. Blink's a good spell.
Yeah, some minor tech difficulties for Rybon by the by, so.
I didn't notice if we grabbed Tella or if we're running Mageless still for Jbrun, or White Mageless.
Rybon is still working on his audio, I believe.
I should be here. Can you hear me?
He is
Yes.
no longer working on his audio.
Hello.
GG's on the win. How do you feel?
Appreciate it. I feel like, man, my emulator crashed at the right time, I guess, after the Thrones fight. But yeah, it was an interesting feed. I felt kind of bad going up to the moon after full clearing Earth. I was expecting to be behind at that particular point.
There was a lot of edges in the seed. Were you happy to see the characters, or were there other characters you would have wanted to see more in the seed?
I'm pretty happy with the way my party ended up. Rydia, which I aptly named Anchor, was supposed to be my anchor this seed, but that Leviathan carried early game, so I was happy to have her on the party. She ended up not being very useful near the end, but, you know, an Excal Cecil and Edge with Amura and something else. In addition, with his ability to equip Thunderclaws, Ice Claws, and so forth to exploit elemental weaknesses, came in clutch and really carried the end game. So Rydia was great to the start. Edge, Cecil, all the Zerkers I need. Rosa has enough HP to ensure that I don't actually have to do big bangs or, you know, nerf them. So I was pretty happy with the way the characters ended up. A second Rydia would have been nice, however, for purposes of anchoring early on, because I think when I errantly took that Edward to be an anchor, ended up being that Rosa and Cecil at that particular point were unable to move at RA1. So that was a little bit of a misplay on my part.
I mean, overall, for the small, hard to notice errors that you made, your overall efficient routing, and just fast clears through everything. Great use of Leviathan in particular to just very aggressively push out the early into mid game. Ended up paying off pretty darn well, helping you kind of show off why you were top 4 in our last event.
Better lucky than good in that situation. But yeah, the Leviathan came in clutch early game, especially against that CPU fight. I got very lucky with that one, just pretty much YOLOing. Let's see if I can get 2 Leviathans off before he decides to globe 199 Rydia. And I got very fortunate that he chose 2 other targets. So playing with fire early game, but you know, sometimes better lucky than good, like I said.
In a race this large, sometimes you really need to go and push and take these risks to be fast enough in the race to get through first. And you definitely were fast in your clear, getting through almost the entirety of the game in 123. Just the moon fights left for the most part.
Yep. Well, 5 moon fights, and I guess at least I never found Twin Harper Luca, so 2 additional bosses there. Could have been a longer feed, but do you know if anyone actually found Luca yet?
Nope, it's on the moon someplace.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, knowing that it was a terminal spot, it was very likely to be up here. Especially the way the item started stopping very quickly from Dwarf Castle.
But yeah, it was a little disappointing, for example, when Tower ended up being a whole lot of nothing. I don't remember, Dwarf Castle, was that something? I don't think it was, right?
No, it was I believe, an armor piece into Pro Ring from Warglitch.
Oh, right. I remember getting that Protect Ring. I'm like, that'd be useful to put on Rydia, and then I never did.
I mean, useful gear, not going to increase your damage necessarily.
No, that's true. And you know, if Rydia got survived a couple more fights, she would have contributed a little more in that Z fight. Like even a decent, even at that point, she's far away from the level where I ended the game at. But with Ice 3, that's enough to reflect for 4K damage, and every little bit helps in that situation. But she just didn't have the HP to survive the first Nerf Big Bang. So maybe that Pro Ring would have made a little bit of a difference if I remember to equip it, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, Pixel Grimes picks up a crystal sword here in the tower, by the way, while we were waiting. Went to go steal some sirens and also ended up with a pile of sirens and a crystal sword. Jabron, of course, is in go mode, has the legend sword from the crystal sword altar, so I guess it's kind of a crystal sword. And he is now on the mother of all bombs here. Pixel Grimes, of course, is doing the tower after having seeing that Rubik not having a great time. To go with those sirens, he's going to pile on some levels as well, which we know are going to be pretty handy. Jabron has a Edward in the party at the moment, and is triple Bacchusing, has no white mage. Is probably going to virus this Edward. Yeah, there's the virus on Edward. Asuka is just trying to top off her edges as fast as possible here. Just to be able to make it through this fight, which she's through. We know it's a white dress, which is a little unfortunate.
Crystal sword, that would have been useful.
There was actually one in the Staleman chest in the Evelyn cave. The one chest you rarely see of the 5.
Yeah, when Evelyn Castle ended up being a whole lot of nothing, I know on T Wild they should have a pretty good chance of pulling the shiny sword from there. I'm like, I'm just not going to waste time in Evelyn Cave and Upper Babel, because the chances are much lower there. But every chest you don't open is a crystal sword, apparently.
Yes.
Does that mean there was like 200 more crystal swords in the seed?
At least 300. I don't think I looted that many chests. Never lucky, I guess. But hey, it's a fun seed, fun flag set, and if people haven't given it a shot on ladder, it's a great time. Very quick seeds, and I'm a big fan of the ladder flags this particular season. Whether it's Falcon Percent, ladder hard, ladder standard, or mystery, which I've come to like a little bit. They're all good. So if there's anyone out there who's thinking about playing, the ladder is waiting for you.
Can confirm, the ladder is a very, very good time. And one off stream, we've had our second finisher. Mike has finished at 132, so good job to him as well, getting through in a pretty fast time as well.
Yeah, just some very good times from some very good runners, certainly.
And we just had our third finisher of Rum. 135. Do you have any other questions for Rybon?
No, I'm good. Always entertaining to watch you run, though, certainly, Rybon.
Oh, happy to perform, I guess, and have the opportunity to. So, the entire Restream team, thank you very much for putting on the community race tonight. It was a blast, and I hope to see you next time.
Hope to see you as well. Jabrun's finishing up the giant. We'll see him enter his Aromas fight shortly. We'll see if he has to do any more levels or anything, because still has no white mage.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to pick up a few more levels along the way, or if he's doing alright in terms of damage. Pixel Grimes is taking on the Volvolus here, so is going to finish up the tower, which we know is not where the answer lies, but hey, he's going to get a bunch of experience and stuff, which is nice. He's got some sirens, which is also nice. Asuka does have an Ice Claw on Edge here, so has just decided to Zerk up Edge and is just gonna go full ham, accepting the fact now that he is fully dead. That's not helping the cause any.
And with the other Edge still Zerked, it's without life 2, it's difficult to get through to it's difficult to recover injured parties, so resetting to give it another go.
Absolutely. I mean, it is the answer to the puzzle here, so kind of gotta do it. And she hasn't done ordeals yet, and looks like she has no intent of doing it.
And Pixel Crime finishes the Valvalis fight, getting the Advent Rock, and we'll have the 11th key item, so no immediate benefit from the rock, but with those sirens, with a little bit of extra XP, can definitely go and accelerate the party.
Yeah, Jabron goes straight in. No surprise there, I think, with the party of Zerkers and also Zerkers with Berserking and drinking wine.
Doesn't appear to have any berserked fighters yet. So using some Leviathans should be able to go and get that edge up and set up to Ice Claw Ruby.
Yeah.
5 people.
Yeah, the tough thing is got to keep that top edge alive. Especially because these fire 2s, they hurt like heck if you take a lot of them. So a lot of this fight is having one key edge be the focus of your attention and love and cherishing, and get him to get you through the fight.
Yeah. And Pixel Crime's heading down the tower, about to get, I believe, the Magma Key. And we're seeing Jabron go.
Yeah, just absolutely trying to go as ham as possible here with this party, because it doesn't really have a lot of ways to top back up at this point, especially because he's got, looks like 3 cure, 3 potions total. I mean, it's going to be dicey from the standpoint of, you know, he's got to make sure that all 3 of his big hitters here get through this first big bang for sure. Because the second one is going to be pretty devastating. It's going to hide Edward as well, I guess, as a bailout option in case things go due south in a hurry. Asuka getting blistered by glare here, not having the most fun time as Rydia is going to heal up the edge on top. Might die to this fire too, though, which would be really bad. Yeah, dies by 7 hit points, or 6 hit points, which is not what you want to see, unfortunately.
Yep. Pixel Crime's doing some eggs, 68,000 a piece. Will get the levels on this party that can get you through that Ruby fight.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes you just need more levels. But yeah, so first big bang is done for Jabron here, and his edges are doing surprisingly good work to back up that Crystal Sword Cecil here. So using Palom and using the Edward to keep the party topped off, and probably going to rehide the Edward again as a insurance policy against possibly dying here.
The hide couldn't get off.
Nah, didn't queue for him to hide. Didn't parry to switch character, so he's just letting us rock right now, which totally understandable.
Yeah. Crystal Sword Cecil's hitting really hard. Should be through the fight soon.
Yeah, Trizerkers are really good for that too, for just really putting the pressure on a Zeroma's fight. Getting to upwards of 10,000 damage a Berserker cycle can be really, really helpful here. But yeah, that's that for that. Party's over. Let's go home. Jabrun's going to be through this fight. Official time of 1 hour 42 and 5 seconds. An 8th place finish. We actually had Poitrak coming in at 4th, 135.27. We had Fried Potato at 5th, 139 flat. 5 seconds beyond that is Funnel Cakes in 6th, Tybalt's in 7th at 140 and 58 seconds. So, tough crowd out there. 14 runners, I believe it was tonight. Just a lot of runners packing in this this little hour and 39 to an hour 42 area.
And Asuka is using Ice 2's layers keep on targeting top edge.
Yeah, top edge has the Ice Claw and is the one that matters the most.
And Pixel Crimes heads to Dwarf. Still not quite the right place, but also, again, every place looks like it could be the right place until you find go mode. That's a Pixel Crimes has a very well-geared edge. Masamune, Murasame, Ninja.
Yeah,
Should do lots.
Yeah, should be in good shape here. Just that Ruby's a little scary for, if you're not 100% really sure of your ability. It can be a little scary. Speaking of piling into this little, 140 to 145-ish niche, Fiery Blizzard has crossed the line at 1 hour 43 and 27 seconds. So, GG to Fiery Blizzard as well.
Leg fight shouldn't be much more than 3 hits from the big hitters. And then the Octoman will also fall shortly.
Yeah, I mean, this is, with all those extra levels and the 10 key item bonus, this party is pretty stacked now in terms of damage output, survivability, big healing spells on Rosa, the whole 9. Whatever you want, you probably have it at this point.
Alrighty, we have no Zerkers active. We can get some life potions off. We might be able to recover the fight. White shirt Rosa's tanky. I don't know if we have a glass hat or anything. So
Rupa can use double kick and it's super effective. It might be time to go get more sirens.
Levels solve everything eventually. You just need enough of them.
Yeah, I mean, the answer to a lot of questions in this game is if you're not quite sure what you need to be doing, it's grinding, it's getting experience points, it's fighting something that you can kill.
If one spot proves troublesome, sometimes you just need to find a less troublesome spot.
Yep, and especially if you're a newer runner, like, just go grind. Like, there's no shame in it, right? Like, the whole idea is that you want to have the levels to do things. And yes, it's good to know how to do things with lower levels, with different party compositions, but you know, the big thing is that if you want to get through fights and you're not quite sure about how powerful you need to be, especially like if you're practicing and trying to learn the game for racing purposes as opposed to playing it, which is kind of what I do. I just play the game, so I just level a ton. Is, you know, saving your game, leveling up some, trying to get a feel for where the lines are for you, and you know, working on things like execution and the like. But if you're not sure, or you are in a situation where you'd rather not try to figure out if you're sure or not, just go get levels, hit that grind button.
Yeah. And Pixel Crimes is heading back to that Ruby fight. I believe it's the only spot left for him, so should be seeing him push through the fight and eventually get that Darkness Crystal.
Yep, one last top up with his party with a pile of levels.
A little unfortunate that we weren't able to hear the music, but it is as the seed decides.
Twin Harp is just, you know, gone forever tonight.
No doubt guarded by a rude wyvern fight. Only 12 damage on that Cecil. So, outside of a glare, that Cecil should be pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so Rosa dying is probably the worst outcome here. Especially because, like, resing her at, like, 180 health is not really the best plan, but look at those levels, as this is hitting for, as those hit for less than 100 hit points on this party. Those Fire 2s don't mean a darn thing, really.
And
Those melee
Cecil,
attacks don't mean those.
Cecil hops in front of Rosa and keeps her alive.
Yeah, just does get absolutely pile driven though.
Asuka has decided to head over to Dwarf Castle. So we'll see where Asuka goes from there.
Yeah, Asuka's gonna clean up Baron at this point in time, while Pixel Crimes is still obviously on this fight. Yeah, it's gonna throw up the Star Veil on Sid as well to allow for Spell Reflects from Spell Reflects from Sid as well.
It's as long as you save a Star Veil for a rude wyvern, then you're fine. Prevents. Oof. Unfortunately, glare does not get reflected. However, that Cecil's hitting pretty hard, so should likely be able to get through the fight sooner or later.
Hopefully sooner, but yeah.
Sooner's good. Asuka equipping an Ice Claw for the Rubicant form of the elements, I believe.
Yeah, gonna see if gonna try and drop some damage here. The big thing is that the element spot is a Rubicant cast, so it's gonna get Leviathan to die, but it casts in order: Group Fire 2, Group Fire 3, and then Group Glare. And that Group Glare hurts.
Yeah, the one upside is it's not targeted, so it does get split, but if you have less than 5 people, that glare is going to be very, very scary. And Pixelcrime gets the Darkness Crystal, so should be off to the moon for the last couple fights as well.
Yeah, I mean, Pixel Crimes is gonna go ahead up to the moon now. Go mode obtained. Asuka's gonna get the spoon down here, which may help with the Rubicon fight if you decide to dart it. We'll see if she ends up doing the basement as well and getting the X-Gal, which for her would also be a nice extra dart.
Spoon, yeah, should be about, I think, 8,000 at this point, maybe even quad 9s. X-Cal's another good 6,000, so that's should be close to half of the Rubicant. And ends up getting Edward, who will act as an anchor, which will help out a lot as well.
Yeah, the big thing is just being able to absolutely chunk through bosses, which is always helpful.
And time for Mylon to go and be a pal. Why? And that'll mean every runner has interrupted Mylon and his friends in their basement of the castle dance party. They just want to have fun. Crime's going to the giant first. So as long as it gets with the levels, should be fine. Get through those fights, and then we should see the walk down the LST to the Crystal Sword altar.
It's a good walk. I enjoy it. But yeah, so go ahead.
Looks like at least Rydia is wearing some defensive gear to guard against lightning. Probably a Sork robe is my guess. So that'll help get through this fight with less problems.
Minimizing problems is a big deal in a fight like this, certainly. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to a boomerang layout here because the Ice Claw is not really helping anything at this point in time on this particular fight. You know what it is? Leviathan's a good spell. Rose is here. Edward is down and anchoring at the moment. So got that good setup working.
And Pixel Crimes ends up finding the Mom Bomb. Do you know whether the extra health that gets added to the Mom Bomb at other locations ends up being 75,000, or if it's still just the 65,000 you'll see at most fights here?
I believe it caps out. I don't know how this fight particularly works at this particular spot. I forget if it caps out and then does the transformation at 55k.
But looking at these levels, looking at the white mage should be just fine, and by the time, as long as that Palm gets the XP from the Odin, we should have nuke on that Palm, which is a pretty good spell.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just right now, just setting up the Zerk line here and casting the spells just to push damage, which is really handy. Rose is on healing duty and just trying to get the party zerked up, and Sid is, you know, a mid-speed anchor at this point in time, probably with an agility in the low teens.
Yep, and we'll see if Oscar goes back to Ruby or decides to finally give a little visit to Ordeals.
She is refusing the call of the mountain.
Just because DKC is not in the party does not mean DKC does not exist.
You can be a Dark Knight in your heart.
Yeah. Level 40, that Edge is going to put out some big damage numbers. And with that Edward Anchor, recovery can be potentially easier. Leviathan fight's going to be going a lot slower, or at least will feel slower. And Harum answers the question about Mom Bomb, stating that it does cap at 65,000, and it, however, if the little bombs show up, about 37,000 worth of them.
That's really neat. It's good to know that that works correctly, or at least correctly enough. I mean, the hope is that you have power overwhelming if you're doing the spot into Bomb Bomb, but that's pretty cool. Asuka is back, setting up to fight Ruby again. Pixel Crime still has to head on down to the Crystalline Sword altar and alter the Asura's face down there to have, you know, an axe in it probably, or a crystal sword in it.
Yeah. Odin punches hard, but if we can just get that lit 3 off, that's gonna do 10,000 damage. But we have to get through before the Xantasuken's turn. Or Odin.
Yeah, that's a pretty devastating hit, honestly, hitting for, you know, 6k ahead. As Odin takes off everybody's head pretty cleanly there. In the interim, Dipwood finished in 10th place, hour 46 and 36 seconds, so GG there.
Oh, no.
Pixel Crimes, oh no, didn't save. This is, as they say, really unfortunate, so he's gonna have to go back through this fight a second time. Not that it was hard, but, you know, it is a lot of time.
There's a lot of health here. Oh, Rudy is getting bared down by Rubicant. Falls down. I think Ruby won the staring contest, but we got the Berserk going off on Ice Claw, and there goes Rosa. 4,000 a hit. Who, without enough people alive, is taking 300 from the Fire 2s. Gets the life out, but unless we have enough flame defensive gear.
I mean, that Zerk Edge might get us there, but it's gonna be close.
And we get one more hit.
That edge on the bottom was queued up to attack, and the fact that he died might have been the best thing. God, that's a 558. All of a sudden, Ruby is just like doing single target damage because the other edge was dead. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Ruby's kind of a jerk. He may be honorable, but he hurts. And Pixel Crimes chewing through Mom Bomb for the second time.
Again, pretty direct fight, honestly. Just, good healing, and Mom Bomb not hitting too terribly hard here. But of course, also, Pixel Crimes got levels.
Yeah. Oh. And gets through it for the explosion again. One thing that will help with the Odin fight is getting your physical fighters berserk should allow them to get the extra hits needed to chew through that last little bit of HP at that spot. And goes and saves. Very good choice. So let's see if second time around goes a little better.
I mean, knowing that you don't get a full heal and knowing what you're getting into at the spot, making sure you're topped up. Just in case.
Lightning's also 4 times effective, so if we use the Lit Bolt on a full health Sid, should do about 5,000.
Yeah, gonna jam out this Excal here as well. Just gonna let it rock because, what else are you gonna use it for?
Yep. Getting the Berserk on Cecil should get a lot more hits in.
Not really. This Odin's quite fast, but at least with Cecil Zerk, you got a shot, and the dart hitting for 7k. This Lit 3 might just do the job at this point, so that'll be good to note. And never mind, didn't even need it. Cecil is a good character when he is Berserk. There's 300,000 experience points.
Should be nuke. Should be Meteor
it is
nuke.
net nuke, yep, and white on Rosa. So yeah, got all the big spells, got all the big damage output. So Pixel Grime's gonna have fun killing Zeromas, basically however he chooses at this point in time. So always gonna be a fun, interesting way to see how he decides to pull it off.
Okay. Well, we still have Rosa alive, so we can go and heal the party. Is that edge? That edge is not berserked, so we're still not in a dangerous position in this fight. And Asuka is through getting the Darkness Crystal.
Yep. So Asuka does have Hero mode now, just needing to do Giant and Sword Alter. Pixel Crimes is through, and as we saw with Big Cecil carrying the day, we know it's a Tella up here if you need to change your anchor out, but otherwise, short hop to go here.
Yeah. Checking out the item shop first. Can be some good items available. We've seen hourglasses, we've seen Bacchus, we might have seen coffins, but we haven't seen anything like sirens or none of the stuff that we were looking for. So we have the levels, so just need to head on down.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the full levels at this point in time, so he's in great shape. Asuka also summoning the whale now. We'll see if she decides to, her order of ops, if it's going to be Alter into Giant or Giant into Alter, so we shall see.
and soon we'll see if Sid gets to carry his way all the way into Zeromus, or if an older man is wanted.
Decides to not swap out. Is going to head on down to the Crystal Roller. And yeah, so it looks like Asuka's also going to take on the Giant first here.
If you're worried about the Crystal Sword Altar at all, well, there's a lot of HP at the element spot. It doesn't have the highest magic, and it can hit alright, but there's other spots that hit harder, like the Crystal Sword, so as long as you feel comfortable with your party, but if you can get through the Giant pretty good and get the XP for quicker Crystal Sword Altar.
But yeah, so everyone's kind of marching on here at this point, which is always nice to see. Asuka's going to hit the save point here. Going to save. Pixel Crimes is down at the bottom of the moon here.
Ooh.
Might have just forgot that there's a save point in front of the Crystal Sword Altar. No big deal.
Yep.
It happens.
I mean, when I played the DS version for my first time at playing 4, and I definitely didn't know about some of these altars. This one's kind of sneaky on, you have to cross this invisible bridge. Just an Ashura fight here with level 52 Crystal Sword Cecil shouldn't have too many difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, you still want to throw a wall on Asura just in case, because you just want to stop these Cure 4s, but yeah.
As long as you can get, I think about 15,000 off before a Cure 4, you'll be fine. Because after that point, due to some reason or another, it doesn't, Cure 4 stops working, and even though it'll say it healed, it doesn't actually heal.
Yeah, it's a weird thing with Overflow once you get to 16,000 plus damage.
New Crystal Sword, that's at 1800, so I think we're through and eat that Cure 4, I don't think.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. Easy.
And that'll be the crystal for Pixel Crimes, so all that's left is a Zeromus fight. Yeah, we have blinks going off, we have a berserked edge. This Mom Bomb's not gonna prove a problem for Asuka.
Yeah, Y2 Sky noting that Pixel Crimes is new. Meckling noting that first seed was last Thursday, so, you know, as new runners do, you gotta have your first community race at some point. Gonna jump in with both feet, which I obviously respect greatly. It's a tough thing to do, and Pixel Grime's gonna head on home and is almost done with this seed.
Yeah. This seed definitely had a tricky hook route with that Ogre Pogo, so anyone who ended up getting through that did very well, no matter how long it took.
Yeah, game's tough. A lot of the runners who do it really fast is because they got a ton of practice at it. So, keep that in mind.
Checking shops, looking for maybe just a couple healing items.
Yeah, just gonna top up on life pots here before going in.
Everyone's blinked on Asuka's end, so pretty much fight's over.
But yeah, so he's gonna pull on up to the Zeromus altar here. Asuka is on Mom Mom at this point in time, so is gonna start cutting her way through the giant at this point. Looks like blinks are up on everybody. 2 edges are zerked up. Rose is providing the healing, and Fire's Cast are coming out from Rydia for the good damage, which is nice.
Looks like we still have the Ice Claw on one and Boomerang on the other, and that's the fight for Asuka. We'll see if a save spot is used or needed. But looking at that HP pool and on everyone should be able to get through the fight. No nerf, but with the Cure 4 should be fine.
Yeah, this party is incredibly healthy at this point, so everyone's over, 2,000 health, which is always nice to see.
And Rose able to heal pretty much. Will be able to heal all the damage in. Oh, no. That Zeromus is moving fast.
Yeah, Sid as an anchor is good, but not great unless you have a curse ring, or at least a dwarf axe with a -5.
I believe it looks like Sid's been wielding a dwarf axe, so. Was able to nerf the second Big Bang, which is nicely done.
Of note, Sid needs to get to level 60 to have a base agility of 25. Big Bang nerfed is clean and is going to get black gold here as Big Bang number 2 went off. Yeah, this Sid is probably sitting around 20 agility, it looks like, thereabouts. There's Shake for Big Bang 3, which just comes out basically instantly here. It's going to heal Rosa. Asuka, of course, is trying to work through this Odin. Big thing is it doesn't have, which Cosmic doesn't have a Thunderclaw working, so it doesn't have like the big hitter, doesn't have the Crystal Sword Cecil.
Don't know if Rydia has Lit 3.
The big thing is that she could still do this fight with Edward, but then would end up putting levels onto Edward, which is to state that you can hide your Edward and do Thunderstruck, which is you blink your Edward, you hide your Edward. After the second Odin goes off, you time bringing Edward out correctly, and then throw a lightning item, and it will instantly kill Odin if done with their proper timing.
Are you able to do that if your Edward is the anchor?
Yes. You have to throw a Silk Whip.
Got it.
It's a sketchathon, but it's doable.
Ice
Yep.
3, Fire 3. Oh, you might be like one level short on Rydia.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Rydia got meleeed to death anyhow, so it's also a little unfortunate. Right, there's the blink, there's the hide. So is gonna try for a Thunderstruck here, which will be really awesome. If he pulls it off, it's a great technique.
Rosa goes down, so no Silk Web, but
Yeah, just gotta set up the timing now. There's number 2. Odin goes out, and now she's just gotta get Edward out of hiding.
show Rosa Lit Thor Rage.
Wow, the window might be bad with Anchor Edward here. Yeah, the window is very bad. Does not have the window to work with. Pixel Grimes is just nerfing Big Bangs left and right, by the way, which is just pretty incredible. Just working through this fight, kind of like the way that it was intended to be done back in the day, which is really cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, don't hit Rosa. That's not Rosa. It's not.
I mean, a ton of levels, ton of gear. Nice thing about the Crystal Sword is it also increases your white magic casting stat, so it gives Cecil a ton of additional bonus defense as well, which is really nice. Asuka's switching up her setup for this fight, trying to get it set up that Edward can do the job here.
No Artemis bow, so no easy way of increasing Edward's agility, but is he still going to be RA5 if he's slower than the Anchor?
He is probably in bad shape for this, honestly, all things considered, but we'll see. And Pixel Grimes ends up resetting out of this Romus fight, unfortunately, which is not great. Just kind of bleeding out slowly, more than anything.
Yeah. 17. You're looking at the party. Balm's really slow, but probably going and switching to the 30 agility on Rosa might work a little better.
30 agility is faster than whatever Sid is at.
It's faster, but the only person currently, I believe, RA1 is Edge. So it'll slow Zeromus down at least a little bit.
Yeah, true. It'll get Zeroma slowed down, which will be good for everybody. Yeah, it's always just sort of a delicate balance.
Yeah. Another thing it would be if you can get just cast a pair of casts as slow will do pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
Ooh. Asuka's still trying for a Thunderstruck.
Yeah, it's kind of what she's got at this point in time. Her damage output, just with the levels that she's got, is just not high enough. But yeah, Pixel Crime's going in for a second touch here. Asuka is... There's the melee attack. Edward's just not getting a turn. Edward base agility 5 is just too slow for this. Since Edward doesn't have levels compared to this, it's just not doable. Gonna queue it up, at least. I'm gonna try, but there's the Odin. Chat's asking what Asuka can do from here. The one thing we talked about earlier, and you might have missed it, it's grind. Grind is your option. Get yourself some levels. Obtain greater power.
If you're going for Thunderstruck, just one random encounter probably will get enough agility that with some slows you can do it. Otherwise, it just, I think one more level will get Lit 3, which is what, a third of this spot's HP? A little more?
Yeah, thereabouts.
So if you can get 2 of those off. You only need to do 10,000 with the edges.
So yeah, there's the nuke coming out for... Got Pixel Crimes just sort of working over the Zeromus fight there. Cecil zerked up for 6,500 a swing. Very quickly learning the power of Big Angry Cecil doing big angry damage here.
As long as Vessel and Rosa stay alive, should get through this fight eventually. Our tracker Y2 Sky mentions edges have learned Blitz, so should also do pretty solid damage. We have Murasame's to increase the mage gear, so you can go Lit 3 Blitz Blitz.
Yeah, distinct possibility, certainly. Asuka pops out early here. There's a second Odin right on time. Yeah, the timing I don't think is doable. Edward's too slow, all things considered. So that's kind of unfortunate. So Asuka doesn't really have a lot of recourse against this Odin at this point, unfortunately. Not killing it fast enough, doesn't have Lit 3 on Rydia. It's kind of a little stuck behind her lack of levels. On the other hand here, Pixel Crimes does have the Reflect up now on Palom. Gonna reflect this heal as well, but that's no big deal. Gonna keep Palom patched up as well.
We have Cure 2s from Sid. Palom has a lot of defensive capabilities, can naturally tank big bangs better than other characters. And Cecil can just keep on swinging.
Yeah, Cecil doing what Cecil does best, which is applying the Crystal Sword directly to forehead. But yeah, you can see that this is definitely a much more aggressive and forward fight from Pixel Crimes, just pushing out the damage here with Zerk Cecil. You know, being a little less afraid to just kind of let the damage fly here. Which is a good way to do this fight, honestly. Just get up there, overwhelm Zeromus, try to hit him as hard as you can. Set up some nerfs here. This is another nerf setup for Pixel Crime, so that's great.
Yeah, Sid's in the first slot, so as soon as Cecil swung, it meant that the nerf should have gone out successfully, I believe.
Yeah, Palam's Day is about to be done, but
No, not necessarily if it's nerfed.
if it is nerfed, might be fine. Edge is probably not doing so hot, but again, Edge is not the carry here. It's Cecil. Cecil and Rose are who we care about. The power couple will get us home. Good nerf, but both Palam and Edge drop here. But, you know, you're gonna cure 4 here with plenty of health, I guess, on the party here. Not too worried. Maybe we'll cure 2 Rosa really quickly just to patch her up a little bit. Get her back around 2 grand. Never mind, there's rocks. So it's gonna get the direct into rocks, but Cecil's a good character who will never die, I guess. So this should be about over, so... Pixel Crime's first big fireworks show on stream here, so should feel pretty good as he's about to hit the line.
Yep. Should be just a couple thousand short. Palam's dodging. And I think we're gonna finish it with a nuke. GG's to Pixel Crime.
Very nicely done. In the interim, Pioneering House had finished in 11th at 214 and 20. But hey, 228.02. Gotta start somewhere, and this is a pretty good start. Definitely some good work in the early mid game there. You know, definitely showing some good skill, toughing it out through some tough fights. Very smart about like being able to go get sirens and get leveled up. So, all in all, for a new runner, a lot of potential. Gonna be real awesome.
Hey, folks.
Hello. GG's on the race. Hope you enjoyed the seed.
Oh yeah, it was lots of fun. I've been running a lot of Asuka's Pink Puff supermarket sweep seed for this week, and you know, just wanted to do something different and challenge myself, and this looked like fun, and it absolutely was.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we would consider to be a you know, a fairly solid competitive flag set. You know, in terms of like what we do for tournaments, it's definitely a step up in difficulty from a supermarket sweep, just in terms of what you get access to.
Right. This is the ladder flag set, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's
something
one of the
similar.
4 ladder flag sets, ladder standard. Which is of the longer flag sets, the one that gives you more power.
Ah, okay, that's very cool. Yeah, I assume the T Wildish helps with that. I know, obviously, finding the finding the crystal in that trap chest was kind of a big deal. For example.
Yeah, there were 2 of them out there, because there was one in the Evelyn Pass and the Staleman chest as well as the very first chest.
I remember skipping that chest. Yeah.
I too remember everybody else but J Brun skipping that chest.
Ah.
It's not a very commonly done chest, so a lot of runners will pass it by. But when it hits, it can hit. Good job getting through that Ogopogo hook route. That fight can be pretty difficult with.
Yeah, that was ugly. I knew I needed to commit some extra resources to it, and having to dart Ogopogo with Spoon there and then throw the X-Cal at Odin in the CPU spot, I was just like, all right, well, I better play a real clean game on Zeromus now, because I have nothing to throw.
Yeah, but it's always important to spend your resources at points like that, which is very important. So I definitely think that was a good call.
Yeah, the other one that I remember doing that I do regret was early on I think on Ordeals. I don't remember what the boss was, honestly, but I had spent accidentally just down below 50 MP and couldn't Leviathan, and was like, all right, well, I need to get through this fight. I'm gonna throw this elixir on Rydia, and just cast Leviathan. It's like, well, if I had just not cast, Lit 1 in the previous fight or whatever stupid thing I had done, it would have been able to save that. But not a big deal. I learned a ton doing this flag set, and I'm excited to watch back the VOD and see what the other runners did and what you folks had to say. I know I fell victim to my own pathing a couple of times, as well as I definitely fought. I felt like I fought the Chocobo boss in Feymarch on the way down to see the King of Monsters for the second time. So a few little pathing frustrations and some probably larger scale strategic decisions I should have made better, but I had a great time, so no regrets.
I mean, you've been playing for a week. You've got a lot of time, and if anything, you'll get a lot better in a hurry if you keep playing. So it'll be real exciting to see what you do as the Pink Pup season goes, the club season kind of kicking over and in. So yeah, I hope you continue to have a good time because you got a good base. So you keep playing, you'll keep getting better.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm very excited.
On the Zeromus fight, you were nerfing all of the big bangs quite effectively. For the most part, you were more often than not able to nerf the big bangs, which that's a very good skill to learn.
Yeah, in the first fight, I realized that my big issue was that I hadn't berserked Cecil, or I hadn't berserked anyone, because that adds so much buffering time to being able to nerf those big bangs. And all I really had, it just kept coming up on Edge's turn. I was like, well, guess I can just get him with the crystal. But that's why in the second fight I was just like, first action Rosa, berserk Cecil. Let's just get through this. And even when I got the berserk cleared by Black Hole, or it timed out, or whatever it was, when we got down to the Meteo phase, I was like, all right, I can take this home with just a nuke to the face. Because that's the 12k hit point threshold, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about it.
Well, thank you folks for sticking around while I finish this up and doing some commentary. I know I kept you folks a little later than usual, but I appreciate you folks sticking around, as well as anybody else who's still watching. And thanks to everybody who restreamed and did the tracking and worked on this race in any way. I had a great time tonight, and it seems like a lot of other people did too. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you for
Thank-
racing.
Yeah, thank you for volunteering. Always good to see a variety of people learn and play the game.
If other people can learn from my mistakes, then that's extra value, because I certainly learned from them.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's about time for us to wrap this party up, though, Judge Joe. I think we're done for the night.
I believe so. We're gonna be raiding over to, or we've got a couple other races this week that could be watched. The next race that'll be coming up will be the Pink Puff League. Their first race will be restreamed on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. After that, we have our Friday community race on Free Enterprise 2 at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then this Saturday, we have the first race for the Hero's Journey Community Club at 3 p.m. Eastern on Free Enterprise 1.
Yeah, Friday night, if you want to take a shot at these flags, come on out. We'll be here. Hero's Journey, kind of the sleeper hit of the season last year for clubs, or last season for clubs. So, if you've got the time on Saturday morning or afternoon or evening if you're in Europe, I'd come out for that. But of course, on behalf of our restreamer Escrunt, our tracker Y2 Sky, I should probably get a raid going, shouldn't I?
Could be helpful. Allow them to finish things off. We'll be raiding over to Fly Eagles Fly, who's doing a variety of Free Enterprise seeds.
Yeah, and of course, Judge Joe, it's been a pleasure. And I am Demarine too. Thank you all for coming out again, and have a wonderful night.